Today I was planning on talking a little bit about this new proposed studded tire tax going from the current $5 all the way up to $75 per tire. But I realized that I had nothing new to say about the subject, only that it's greedy and a money grab and very short-sighted. Therefore, I've decided instead to talk a little bit about Valentine's Day. You know what the holiday is actually about, right? It's not about little Cupid angels giving hearts and chocolate and flowers and all that stuff. I mean, I'm sure it's cute and romantic and whatever else, but the real point of Valentine's Day, you think about it, is actually standing up for what is right regardless of what the government says. Do you know the story of Valentine? Okay, this guy was a priest back in Roman times. The emperor decided that he didn't want any of his men to be caught up in marriage. He wanted everybody to be available for military service, and therefore he outlawed marriage. Now, I mean, there's been a little bit of controversy here in the United States over the last couple of years about the gay marriage thing in terms of who is allowed to get married, who's not allowed to get married. Can you imagine if the president issued an executive order and said, there will be no marriage until such time as I decide that we're going to allow it again in the future? Would most churches just stop doing marriages? Probably. And that's what happened, of course, in Rome. Valentine, however, he's like, no, marriage is something between God and these people. This is not up to the state to decide. This is not up to the Caesar to decide you cannot get married. If you want to commit your lives to one another in the sight of God, I will marry you. And he continued to perform these marriages in opposition to Caesar. Guess what? He got in trouble for it. He didn't just get arrested, he got killed. He was executed for violating Caesar's command. Why? Because he was obeying something greater than Caesar. This is why Valentine is one of my heroes, and I actually looked into the possibility of becoming a marriage commissioner, and I've performed several marriages over the years, both when I was part of a clergy and then part of church leadership. Now that I'm out from under any official designation, no paperwork saying that I'm a registered church or anything like that, realizing that if I went in there and did the paperwork to become a marriage commissioner, I would be submitting myself to the state, in this case the state of Alaska, but more generally to the idea of government, for people to get permission to get married. And I'm like, you know what? I don't think I can do that with a clear conscience. Yeah, okay, I can make a little scratch on the side, but I'm not going to prostitute myself for a little bit of money just so that I can, have the opportunity to marry people. Valentine didn't. He said, look, your law is not God's law, and I am not going to obey it. I'm going to obey God. So, Valentine's Day really is something that should be celebrated for the fact that a man stood up to Caesar and did what was right, even though it cost him his life. So, happy Valentine's Day. And go out and get somebody some chocolate. That's what I've got for today. If you like what I'm doing, please send me an email. Tell me what you'd like to see me do in the future, whether you've got a news tip or a commentary you'd like to see me do. If you'd like to become a supporter, I've got several different ways to do that. Become a patron at Patreon, or you can buy a direct subscription at my website, radiofreespeech.com. If you'd like to learn how you can become a sponsor without going through the online process, credit cards and all that stuff, send me an email. I'll tell you more about it. Steve at radiofreespeech.com. Thanks.